Hello! So this video is a bit different for me, so hopefully it's going to be a wee quick one. In my comments and stuff and a lot of my videos and a lot of stuff on Twitter is basically asking for updates. You guys have been asking me for updates. Updates on life, updates on Buddha, on Bronson, so I'm here to provide such things. Buddha's surgery was booked for the 6th of November. If you are not aware, the reason he was getting surgery is because he only has one eye. But he's got the remnants of an old eye, an eye that died, it basically died. It was hurt in an accident and when he was a puppy. So rather than removing it at the point, they had to build it so that his skull could form correctly and all that kind of stuff, and it meant that now in older age he gets more trouble with it than anything else. It's not doing him any more favours, so they have to remove it. A lot of dust can collect in it and sometimes it can get a bit, like, not infected, but a bit irritated. So the vet was basically saying, yeah, we'll have to remove that, right? So that 6th of November. Then my papa passed away. He passed away in October, at the end of October, which meant when he was being buried, he had a rosary, and the rosary was the 5th of November, which was actually when Buddha's surgery was supposed to be. My papa was buried the 6th of November. So we had to cancel Buddha's surgery because I couldn't take him to surgery because I had too much to do for my papa's funeral and his rosary. But the vet had looked at pictures of his eye, had told me that there's no issue, everything's fine, he just has to have the surgery, but it's not critical, it's not life critical. So his surgery should now be January, but they still have to confirm me with the dates. Rolling on to Bronson's issues right now. Bronson also has an issue with his eye right now. That happens on Thursday 21st of November. He woke up with an abscess on his eye and it's right on the pupil. So it's causing him a lot of pain, obviously. He's on 2 different kinds of painkillers, 3 different kinds of eye drops, an antibiotic and all that kind of stuff. And he's at the vet every second day just so they can keep an eye on it to make sure that it doesn't get any worse. Because apparently abscesses can rupture inside the eye and it can cause a lot more pain, and he could possibly lose his eye as well. Nothing causes abscesses to just sort of happen, and it just sort of happened to Bronson. He's okay, he's happy enough. He did, like, whenever he does start to close it over a little bit, you give him a wee painkiller and he's right as rain again. The vets seem happy with the progress of it, it's not getting any worse, which is the main thing. So he might be on these painkillers and drops and stuff for a few months yet, but that's what's happening with that. Also, if you are not aware, we have moved house. So these doors here are actually leading out to my hallway, and I am currently standing in the dining room, I guess. But like, that's my kitchen there, and this is my dining room. So I'm currently standing here, hence the echo, and hence why you don't recognise any of this if you've watched my videos previously. So video uploading is a bit all over the place because we've just moved house, I don't know where anything is. Everything is either in a McDonald's box or a box that I didn't label. Everything's a bit everywhere, but we're getting there. Eventually we'll unpack everything, we'll find everything we're looking for, and we'll get there. People move house all the time. It just means everything's everywhere and it can make life a little bit hellish for a while, but we moved house, so that's fantastic, and I'm very happy with my new home. Finally, the last update I have to give you all is I have merch. So I've had merch now for 3 or 4 weeks and I haven't told anyone. Why, you ask? Because I'm a genius apparently. I've had people ask me for merch and I honestly didn't know how to go about it. I watched Nerd City's video about merch, obviously. I looked at a lot of YouTubers' merch to see what they do, and it wasn't really helping looking at other people's merch because everyone has their own individual style. So what I did is I looked at my audience, which are primarily male. My analytics show that it's 88.8% male, and the age can be anywhere between like 18 and like 35 to 40 odds. It's mostly men that watch my videos. Then I had a look at the people that interact with me the most on Instagram, on Twitter and in my YouTube comments. A lot of these people tend to be very similar minded to me in the sense of music, style, aesthetic, all that kind of stuff. So, long story boring, I basically made merch that I would wear and I made merch that I thought that I would be proud of, was something that I would just, if I seen it in a shop, I'd go, I'd buy that. I enjoy that. That's something that I like. And merch that I thought would appeal to the people who actually watch my videos and the people who were actually asking me for merch. So what I did is I have a friend called Mike who is in a band called Party Cannon. Party Cannon are a death metal band, but they do not have a death metal logo. They have a very un-death metal logo. They have very round, kind of like balloon looking writing, which is very funny and I do enjoy it. I asked him if he knew anyone who specialised in sort of death metal writing. He passed me on to a guy on Instagram. His Instagram handle is Wildanslamartwork. I will put the link to his Instagram in the description of this video. His work is really, really good and he does a lot of death metal logos for a lot of death metal bands. They're really, really good. Working with him for commissions was so easy. He's very, very good at getting back with you, good communication, great price, great guy, all fantastic to work with. So that's me. I've commissioned my death metal logo and that's what I wanted. I knew that I wanted something with a death metal theme to it. So then moving on from there, I had an idea in my head of what I wanted the actual image to be like, but I couldn't find any artists that I really, really liked. So I started going through Twitter and basically going down the rabbit hole of artists. So I would find one artist that I really liked, and then from that artist I would look at ones that they liked and I would click and then follow, I would click and follow, I would click and follow, and I just kept doing that until I could find one that I liked, and then I would find the ones that they liked and just keep going down that rabbit hole and getting a wide sort of a wide view of all these different people that were available. And then it came to me. So Marcus ran a competition for people to submit their art to him, for him to then choose a winner. The winner won a prize, I think it was a monetary prize, and he would pick that winner and make merch out of it. There was one that I loved the most, it was my favourite one, and it was him and Buddha, and it was black and white and it was great. So I contacted that man and sent him some pictures of what I kind of wanted. Again, he was great. His handle on Instagram is cyanidegraveart. Again, the description below will have a link to his Instagram. It'll also have some other details for him, such as like a Twitter and things like that, so you can get a really good idea of the sort of pictures that he can do. Cyanidegraveart, his work is so good, but you can tell from the name it's obviously more gothic or more alternative, let's say. I really like the style in which he did his designs. They're very bold, they're very contrasted between the black and the white, and that's what I really enjoyed. So I sent him everything I wanted. Again, working with him was an absolute pleasure. The price was great, all the communication was great. You always wanted to know what you wanted from him. It was just brilliant. Working with both these guys was an absolute pleasure. The two men I used for the commissions, everything that I can find about them will be in the description, and if you are looking for something similar, I cannot recommend them enough. So moving on from that, you may have guessed by now that I am wearing my merch. Now I've been wearing this all day, so if there's marks on it, like dog's hair and stuff, I'm really sorry. So this is the death metal writing that I have. It says Sue Hulk on the front of it. This is just a hoodie, it's just a pullover hoodie, but on the website, on Teespring, there is lots more than just hoodies. So on the back is the print that I had wanted made, so I will show you that now. And here is a better picture of the death metal on the front. Now the reason I am wearing this just now to show you is to actually show you the quality. I was really worried that because there was so many different lines in it, that on Teespring when they printed it, it would be a bit kind of mushy, but actually it turned out really well. I know it kind of sounds like I'm saying that because I'm trying to plant my own merch, but I'm happy with it. So yeah, on Teespring you'll get like t-shirts, hoodies, there's a pair of socks which is really cool. On the front of the socks it has Sue Hulkin in the back. On the back's got Sue Hulkin, the front's got a picture of the Buddha on it. So the logo itself, sorry, is actually Baphomet. It's Baphomet, which is a version of the devil with a goat's head who sits with his legs crossed, and he usually sits like this. And it usually has words on his arms. Baphomet does have breasts, so let's just cover that right now. Baphomet has breasts. But my logo is Buddha, and cyanidegraveart actually called it Buddhamet, so the whole range is called Buddhamet. He is holding a spatula and a whisk, and there's a cupcake in his lap. Obviously that's because I really enjoy baking. A lot of the videos on my channel are baking themed, but I do bake quite a lot, so I wanted to incorporate a little bit of that into it without taking it away from, like, I didn't want to make it gimmicky. I wanted an image to be very much something that I would wear, something that's death metal-ish, but not really because it's a pug, but you have to look close to realise it's holding a whisk in a spatula, you know, like it doesn't, you don't look at the back of it and be like, why is that a pug with horns holding a spatula? Like, you actually have to look really close to realise that it's not just a really cool metal looking hoodie, it's actually Buddha. cyanidegraveart did a really good job of incorporating Buddha into Baphomet and incorporating little tweaks to make it more relatable to my channel without making it a YouTuber's hoodie. The good thing about death metal writing is a lot of the time no one knows what it says, which is really good for me as well, because although I do have a YouTube channel and although it's very young, I can wear this and no one knows what it says. Everyone kind of just looks at it as if it's a death metal band and no one asks, because what you find with death metal bands is no one is brave enough to admit they don't know what it says. So I like the idea of this. I can wear this hoodie, and again, no one knows you're wearing a YouTuber's hoodie, no one knows you're wearing a hoodie that's like about opening kawaii boxes and stuff. People take a glance at it and be like, that's a metal hoodie, and that's what I really like about it. It's not so much like I'm hiding it, it's more like it's discreet. I don't know. I'm not very good at describing it, I just know that the end product I'm very happy with, and I am going to buy a pair of my own socks. Honestly, this is just something I wanted to try. I wanted to try and get commissions. I wanted to try and make some of my own merch. And I wanted to see how hard it was, see how it went, see how it goes even, and see what happens. Honestly, even if I'm the only person that buys one of these hoodies or t-shirts, then at least I've commissioned some work for some people who make income that way and obviously put a lot of effort into that. I'll commission them again because I really enjoy their work. So realistically for me it's a win-win. I got a hoodie I really like, I made something I'm really proud of, and two people that I worked with got paid. So yeah. The other side of that though is, if you do like this hoodie and you do like this merch, the link to buy said things will be in the description below. As I say, you can get cushions, you can get stickers, you can get socks, you can get t-shirts, you can get hoodies, and I made most of the colours really dark so that it could be kind of gothy, but then the other colours are like the other side of the spectrum where they're very pastel pink and very pastel purple and quite kawaii, which also kind of works with the death metal writing too. For me, I'm very aware that all of this is my style and I have a very unique style. I know that not everyone will like it, but all I wanted to do was make something that I was happy with, and I am very happy with the outcome of this. So yeah, I'm going to stop talking. In summary, Buddha's fine, surgery will happen at some point in the new year. Bronson is okay and hopefully will be fine, but you'll get more updates in this. Me and Mark have moved home and everything's a bit of a mess. Everything's very echoey and we appreciate your patience when it comes to uploading and stuff, and we're really, really sorry. And I have merch and I have it on, and it's in Teespring under Buddha under Sue Hulk. Also in the description will also be the links to the Instagram and Twitters if Wildanslamartwork has a Twitter, but definitely Instagram for them. Any other information that they want to provide will also be in the description below. I'm going to stop talking now, I'm going to go. It's very, very cold, and I'm going to drink some tea, and yeah, thanks for coming and I'll see you later. Bye.